Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Next. We're covering Miss Marvel episode 2 today, and I'm joined by the founder himself, Tyrone from the Circle Club. How you doing?
Man, look at that fucking stash. My God, my guy. Loving that, loving that. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just laying down the law. Somebody needs to give me the badge because the sheriff, my boy Jason
The
Tatum's coming out
sheriff's in
tonight
town.
to lay
You
down
know
the
who
law.
else? You,
Who
you know who
else?
else is in town? Miss Marvel. She's
Ooh.
kicking butt. She's finally learning her moves. What are you thinking so far of episode 2 and just the series?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's a very interesting perspective watching Kamala's life, right? Having this imagination and them displaying it through this pop art in the background. It's cool to see this super fan of a teenage individual who we probably can relate to, right? Like
Yep.
wanting to be that, knowing it's not really real, but for her it's becoming real. And in episode
Yeah.
2, she kind of jumps right at the opportunity to start trying to become a superhero, right? She's working on her shit already, and it's what I would do, right? Like if I got some superpowers, I'm next day trying to like figure it out so I can become nice
Totally.
with it. So I'm liking it so far. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, and I said before, and you see them my TikTok, like it's kind of got a combination of a lot of different things. It's like that Ned the Classified Survivor
Yeah.
Guide kind of thing, where it's like the little tips in the air, like the text messages with the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen the show Never Have I Ever on Netflix, it's about this Indian girl in high school. Same exact sort of vibes, humor. I like that they put the culture in there too. Like when they're going through, when they're at, I think it's like Egypt Idol, or I can't pronounce it, but they're at that like ceremony, and
Mm-hmm.
like she's explaining like, oh, these are the aunties, these are the uncles, these are like the like Gen Z Muslims who are like
Mm-hmm.
Snapchatting and stuff. Like I thought that was a clever way to kind of be like, hey, this is what my culture's like, for like people who really are introduced into that world. Another show it reminded me a lot of too was Rami, which is on Hulu, which is a very funny show too. But yeah, man, like I'm loving the direction that they've gone so far with this. I like how her best friend is like the kind of like her Ned in a sense, where she's like the
Mm-hmm.
technology and everything behind it. And then there's this introduction of this new guy. This new guy pops in here and sort of taking a little thunder from our boy, because we're kind of rooting for him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Bruno.
like yes, we don't talk about Bruno, but yeah, like so he's kind of hopped into this, and I just think their dynamic of those two together is very strong. I was a little suspect of Kamran. I was like, because he's a senior. I don't know. I think she must be like a junior, maybe, or maybe she's a senior too. But yeah, there's just something about him sort of like jumping in and like being so friendly to her. I'm like, what's that about? Did that kind of make
Mm.
you suspect at all?
So I was gonna say, like, right when I saw him like really engaging her right off the bat, I was like, this just seems very suspect. And I was ready to come into this being like, yo, I think he's gonna be like a turnaround villain. He's just using her.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how in this show they kind of went right into it right at the end. They left it just as the cliffhanger. So they didn't let it linger because I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
obvious, right? I think we all thought it was pretty
Yeah.
obvious. So I think this is a part about this show that I'm really enjoying compared to other Marvel
Mm-hmm.
shows. Is it's kind of really it's progressing things at a good pace where it's not really feeling slow. So I think we're really
Yeah.
enjoying it from that aspect, because it's not even just moving at a good pace. The story behind it too is also well done, and
Yeah.
I think to our point that we always make, Marvel's trying to be more diverse, and I think
Mm-hmm.
seeing this side with like the Muslim characters, the how they get raised, the background, it has been interesting as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they've had a nice melting pot so far in these
I
seasons.
agree, and like I think, like you said, with the pace, the fact that things are happening, but they're not happening at a slow rate. We're getting a lot. Like they've given us a lot when you think about just for
Mm-hmm.
2 episodes, and for a new character too. Like it's weird. I feel like she's only been here for 2 episodes, but I feel like I really get the character. I get the world that she's from. I
Mm-hmm.
sort of get like the dynamic with her family. You called it. last week. You can go check our video over on the Circle Club episode 1. You called it that the family, there seems to be some sort of history there with this bracelet, right? And let's just jump into this first little theory we had here going. So we're going to go into a question/theory here. Who is this mysterious woman in Kamala's vision? My first reaction, so we're getting this story from their great grandma about this woman who's been banned, Aisha, and she, like, the whole story with the train and how she left the child there, and then no one knew what happened or how the child got through. I think that this woman is either Aisha or the villain who took out Aisha, and sort of there's some sort of like thing with the family and bracelet, and I almost, like, part of me thinks that, like, when Kamala was trying to save that kid and the bracelet starts to, like, alarm, it almost alerted this woman to what was going on, which is why she was there. Side note, I love the fact that like, she was saving the kid, but it was sloppy, because, like, that was one, like, that's always a big criticism in Marvel, Star Wars, whatever, is that these heroes, they pick it up so quick. So I like that she was sloppy. But who do you think this woman is?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean heavily on the fact that it's probably the villain, right? I think I think there's definitely some history there between whoever this woman is and I think her grandmother that nobody really wants to talk about. I just have this wild sense or feeling that there was some type of interaction with that bracelet, and the grandmother of Kamala knew she could not come back with them and could not escape, and something with the bracelet I think was left with the little girl, and that's how a lot of the I think the rumors started from it, was this aura behind this bracelet. So I'm still intrigued to see what's more of the development of where it's coming from. Like, where is this bracelet from? And I think there might be something to do with, like, Kree culture for some reason in this, because if you really think about the Inhumans, they are, like we tried to talk about last week on our last video, they're different kind of, they're not mutants, they're altered humans from the Terrigen Mist, but it's from Kree technology too. At the same time, it comes from their origin.
There's a science behind it, but there's also sort of this, like, genetic thing, right?
Yeah, just kind of like how with Captain Marvel and her aging, right? And you see how she's not as old as she should be. It's not just because of her ability she gets from the Tesseract, but it's also the things that these Kree have. The Kree typically live a lot longer than a normal human being, right? So
yeah. I also like too that they brought the villain in with this Kamran thing, because I think it's it's sort of this dialogue conversation about how, like, guys will manipulate a girl too when they're in high school, and, like, girls will fall for anything, and a lot of these words and things. So I kind of liked how they played into that high school trope where she's like, oh my god, he's being so nice to me, and, like, the whole time he's sort of taking advantage, or not sort of, he is taking advantage of her for his mother, whoever this woman is. And she's just sort of like, whoa, what the heck. Also, we didn't talk about is that group who's trying to go after Kamala as well. What are your thoughts there?
I'm starting to I have this sense too that, like, the kid, I don't know if it's an act or not, but it seemed like they were really, like, interested in the same things, right? So there could be an aspect where his mother might be manipulating him to do these things, right? And he feels some type of pressure, and we talk about the family dynamic, right, that Kamala has, right? Like, there's a lot of pressure from the parents and the culture, that especially with these long rumors that they have gone on, and I'm sure the situation behind this bracelet and them wanting that power back, most likely, there's gonna be a dynamic there. So I think they don't just bring this kid in to just use him as that little bridge. I think he's gonna be kind of this gap between how his family sees things and how her family sees things, right? And I think with her family, they clearly don't want her to be in the superhero business. And I think for him, he might not feel like the right thing to do is to take that from Kamala, right? And I think there might be a development there because we all know how Disney likes to have their little love gigs. Unless we get my man Bruno in here, we gotta.
See, I'm rooting for Bruno personally.
We got a triangle, but you know, shout out my boy Bruno because he's putting on for us white boys. So,
you short kings out here. All right, man. So, all right, comment below what you guys think in the comments down below. Go and check out Corey's videos on What's Next. If you're watching on What's Next, go check out my videos on the Circle Club. We make new videos every single week. Thank you for watching, and make sure you tune in because we'll be back. And Corey, that's what's next.
That's what's next.
All right.